Have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, the secret to growing taller isn't about reaching up, but about letting go? That's what we're going to dive into today. It's this really powerful idea called the architecture of pruning, and it's all about how releasing what holds us back is the real key to rising higher. So let's start with a story. Imagine a tree that just couldn't grow any taller. It had hit a ceiling, It was just completely stuck. But here's the thing. The problem wasn't a lack of potential. This wasn't some weak tree. Nope, it had all the strength it needed to keep growing, with roots that ran deep and a real will to reach for the sky. The real issue, the thing that was actually holding it back, was simply that it was carrying too much. It was just totally overburdened by its own weight. So what exactly was this burden? Well, it was everything. All the old branches, the weak and broken ones, even the branches that didn't bear any fruit anymore. And then there were the branches that were just there. So instead of growing up, all its energy was being spent growing wide, just stretching itself thin in every possible direction. And this is a really key detail. From far away, the tree looked impressive. It seemed full, lush, you might even say successful. But if you got up close, the reality was completely different. That fullness wasn't strength, it was just weight. The tree felt heavy, strained by absolutely everything it was trying to hold on to. And this weight, it had some serious consequences. It made the tree incredibly vulnerable. Every single storm became this violent struggle just to stay upright, and every strong wind felt like a threat to tear it apart. Then, the turning point, a crack. It echoed right through its trunk. It wasn't loud, but it was deep. It was serious. This was that moment where it just couldn't ignore the strain anymore. And this crisis, it brought a huge realization. If the tree tried to keep everything, it was going to lose it all. It finally understood that real growth wasn't about adding more stuff. It was about letting go. So with this new understanding, it started doing the hard work. It began to release its grip, letting those weak branches, the ones that were just draining its energy, finally fall away. And how you think that felt? Well, not great at first. The tree felt exposed, smaller, almost naked, without that familiar weight it had been carrying for so long. The outside perspective changed too. People who passed by just saw a smaller, barer tree, and they assumed the worst. They thought it was dying, that it looked worse than it did before. They totally missed what was really happening. But here's the magic. While it looked worse on the outside, something incredible was happening on the inside. With all that dead weight gone, its energy was refocused. Its roots started digging deeper, building a much stronger foundation. And the trunk itself grew steadier, more resilient. And the results of all that deep, foundational, unseen work? It's this one powerful word. The tree wasn't growing wider anymore. It was finally growing taller. Okay, so you can probably see where this is going. This story isn't really just about a tree, is it? It's a question for us. So take a second and really ask yourself, does your life feel heavy right now? Are you feeling weighed down, stretched thin, kind of stuck? Because if the answer is yes, the lesson here is pretty profound. The solution might not be to hustle more, to put in more effort, or to add something new. The solution might actually be subtraction. You might not need a new to-do list. You might just need fewer branches. Which leaves us with the choice you see right here. We can stay the same, just keep clinging to all the branches in our own lives. And what are they? I mean, it could be that job that drains your soul but feels safe, right? Or old habits that just don't serve you anymore. Or maybe even relationships that hold you down instead of lifting you up. That's one path, and it keeps us feeling heavy and stuck. Or we can choose to rise by releasing, by courageously cutting away what's not essential. And look, it's going to feel like a loss at first, for sure. You'll feel smaller. But it is the only path to actually truly growing taller. And that brings us to this final crucial idea. True, meaningful growth isn't always about piling more on. Sometimes it's about courage. It's about refinement. It's about cutting away what holds you back. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What branches in your life do you need to let go of to finally reach the sky?